Ladies and gents, welcome to the channel. Mantalk Productions here. This evening you see me in the Fokker F28 Fellowship -1000 by Justflight. Also called the F28 Professional. This is a recent Microsoft Flight Simulator release by them. I've been watching this development for quite a while now, and really looking forward to when it came out. And I didn't jump on it immediately because the Comanche had just come in and I was loving the Comanche. And so recently grabbed this and been flying it for a steady week and a half maybe, and absolutely loving it. It's everything that I would wish a modern, well, not a modern, sorry, everything that I wish a vintage airliner would be. Everything that I love about GA flying, the steam gauges, the VORs, the radials, all of that is basically exactly how you fly this commercial jet, which isn't something that you get nowadays. Nowadays, everyone's interested in the magenta line, the FMCs, the GPS, and to me that's always a bit boring. I genuinely have to say I'm a bit bored of following magenta lines. That just doesn't captivate me. But this jet, this little commercial airliner, this captivates me, and I absolutely love it. I've been loving learning the history of it, learning the history of the different airlines that flew it, and where they flew it, and how they flew it, and also taking it out on VATSIM a couple of times so far, and been enjoying it. So we're going to take it on a line flight today from Jersey to Norwich. Oh, no, please don't turn in. Please. What? Why? What? I don't know what you're doing. You can see me here, clearly. Yes. Exactly. Go away. You can clearly see me here. VATSIM for the win. So, I'm going to take it on a line flight. This is Air Anglia, which amalgamated into Air UK, which then I think eventually amalgamated into BMI, which I think then amalgamated into BA, I think. So that's kind of the weird history, the weird complex history of UK regional airlines in the 20th century. So we're flying this today. There's so much I could say about this aircraft, but let's not do that. Let's just jump in and fly the thing. So we have some good ATC online today. Let me just take a screenshot because that's quite a nice shot there. Let's take a screenshot there, maybe for a thumbnail later on. So let's actually just jump in and start sorting this out. Let's go to the camera, reset position, external. Yeah, he was given taxi. He was given taxi instructions out to the active, so I have no clue why he tried to turn in onto my stand. But never mind. So we are on stand. We have the GPU on, and we have the door open with the chocks engaged. So essentially, this isn't quite cold and dark. I have done some previous flights, so I've reset the aircraft. I restarted the sim, but I'm not going to run through every single item in the checklist today. I feel like that's going to be a bit much. So the nose steering is on, despite me not being able to use the. I can't close that now. Where is the click spot to close? Okay, never mind. Forget that. Let's not get tunnel visioned too early in the video. So I am going to be using the checklists. First, what I'm going to do, I'm going to come to the tablet. You can see doors open, chocks, ground power's on. I'm going to go to the official flight plan, sync the flight plan from SimBrief, which is Jersey to Norwich. Then I'm going to go back to the aircraft, and it's going to ask me import SimBrief. Yes. I'm going to click yes, and you can see that the weights and balances have been changed. And I'm also going to update the pitch trim by clicking CG and SMC. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and that should sync my correct pitch setting for my specific CG. So I'm going to go checklist first. I'm going to go before starting APU. Battery voltage check. Let's go check the battery voltage. That should be BAT1. Battery voltage is good. Battery switch, yep, we have turned that on. APU fire extinguisher test warning. That is here. Yep, we got... actually, when you do that... Yeah, that APU fire light should come on. Okay, APU main switch on. Let's go pop that on now. So APU main goes on. Gen 3 switch off and reset. So let's make sure that that's in the off and reset position. APU air switch is also in the off position. That's air conditioning main switches, one on and one off. I usually put the right hand one on here and keep the left hand off. Starting APU checklist. Start APU button pressed. Let's press that, and that has started the APU, or that should be started. TGT and RPM rise. We need to check that. So we've got the TGT up here and the RPM rising both up through 50. You can see the extinguishing of the light past 45 RPM, and the TGT is settling, and the RPM should settle in the green. So APU start button light extinguish after approximately 45% RPM, which it did, and TGT and RPM stabilized. Have they stabilized? Yes, they have. Checked. After starting, let's hit the Gen 3 switch on, which is this here. Let's go up, and we see the load come online here. So we know that if we go to the Gen 3, which is, where's Gen 3? There's Gen 3. You can see we've got Gen 3 come through there. And then master radio switches, let's go on, and those are down on the center pedestal. Let's put those two on. And you can see that it's come on because the only digital display that we have in the aircraft, which is the vertical display there, apart from the weather radar, of course, has come on. You can see that was black before. So, pre-flight checklist. This is huge, and I am just going to say that I've done it because it takes an age, and everything on that checklist essentially is something you would do for the first flight of the day. You may not actually do it. At least I don't feel you need to do it for a flight in the middle of your rotation. So, pre-departure check APU running. Circuit breakers are in. Now, all the circuit breakers are in the back. They're all modeled, but none of them are clickable, none of them are throwable, and that's not actually modeled, so that's fine. Oxygen check. We check the oxygen by coming back behind the seat. Actually, let's just move that seat forward. We can see it. We click on the top there, and you can see that's working. Let's actually move our seat forward as well. APU air switch on. So let's put that air switch on now. You can see the switches come alive. You can see the right hand, what do you call it? Pack? I suppose you could call it a pack. Or duct pressure. What is that? I don't actually get tooltips at the moment. Windshield heating switches, low or off. Now, let's see what temperature. It's just under 20 Celsius, so let's put them on low. Like so. Fasten seatbelt and no smoking signs can go on, like so. Central warning and caution system test. I can't quite remember. Where is that? Central warning and caution system test. You know what we can do? We can go up to the original, well, or the default checklist system, and pull up the pre-departure check. And go to central warning and caution system here and press the eye icon. No, that's not showing us any items in the cockpit, so I'm actually just going to ignore that. Skid control. Yes, we can do that. That is there, and the light comes on, so we're good. Engine fire warning test. Now that is down here. We can run the left and we can run the right, and you can see the two fire warnings come on the fuel switches. Fuel consumed indicator set. So that is down here. The fuel flow. Now I think what you do is you hit reset, like so, and that should reset it. Obviously, if we were doing multiple, line flights in the day without resetting. Aircraft weights, we have set those. TTC switches should be in takeoff, which are these two underneath the throttles. They are in the up position. Nav lights switches on or off. So let's go put the nav lights on. And let's put the anti-collisions on as well in preparation for engine start. And then the flight recorder needs to be set. You know, I don't bother with the flight recorder at the moment. I'm just not that bothered. So before starting engines. So the before starting engine, let's see, down to cleared for start. Okay, so let's do it down to the cleared for start, and then we'll call tower and get clearance. Rudder pedal seats and harnesses adjusted and secured. Yeah, let's say they are. Electrical power and bleed air supply has been checked. So the electrical power is good. We're on external power on the battery as well, and we've got APU air on the second compressor pack. I can't remember what to call that, but that is correct. And the Gen 1 and Gen 2 for the two engines they're both on, but there's nothing coming through on them yet, which is why the inoperative lights are on. Brake pressure, check. So the brake pressure, there's inner, outer brake... there's the temperatures, sorry. They're the temperatures. The brake pressures should be hydraulic pressures, hydraulic, empty, hydraulic fluids, hydraulic pressures. The brake pressures. Oh, I forgot where the brake pressures are. It will come back to me. Are they over there? I think that's the same. Oh, nope. I think that's the same. Brake temperatures. I genuinely I don't know where that actually is. I'm going to skip it. Well, actually no. Let's just run back up here to the before starting checklist and do what we did earlier on. Before starting checklist, brake pressure, because if I don't do this, no, yeah, so it's in the on position, so that's good. I'm assuming that's what it meant. Parking brake needs to be on, so down to be off, up to be on, correct. Fuel quantity checked, so we did check that earlier on. We've got nothing in the center tank. We've got two tanks on in the left, the wing tanks essentially. Got about 2.5 tons on each side, so that's good. Pressurization set. So we're flying flight level 170 today, which is actually less there. So we'll leave that set right like that. Thrust index. Now, so the thrust index needs to be. This is a page in the manual. I think, let's just pull the manual across here. Now, it's something like page 232-ish, I want to say, in the manual. So we'll just, yes. Look at how exact that was. 232, bang on. So this is the thrust index table, which is what it's talking about when you're talking about setting the thrust index. So we are at Jersey. What's the airfield elevation at Jersey? Is airfield elevation at Jersey. Come on. What's the airfield elevation at Jersey? It's always staring me in the face, and I don't see it for 277 feet. Okay. So let's round that up to 300. Well, let's round that up to 400, right? And then we go look at the temperature. It's less than 20 degrees Celsius. So the lowest number on the chart is 170, right? So we can see that. So what we do is we go to these two little knobs here, and we set 170 on each side. And that's essentially setting the correct thrust index for the ambient outside air temperature and the altitude of the airport we're taking off from. Nav aids set. Right, okay, so nav aids. Excuse me, our first nav aid from Jersey will be Guernsey. We're tracking outbound and coming into Guernsey. Then we're going Seaford. Then we're going Clacton. And then we're going from Clacton up to Norwich. You can see I've already done this rotation before. Hence the dotted line. So we're going to be flying outbound. We've got a 5-knot wind from the west, so it's going to be taking off towards the west, and then a right-hand turn in direct to Guernsey, and then on from there. So we got to tune up the Guernsey VOR, which is 108.10. So let's go pop 108.10 in the box. And let's turn on the two VOR finding boxes there. That's the technical term. Ship's papers on board. Yeah, let's just say we do have that. Takeoff data, bugs, and set. Okay, so the way you do the bugs is the table down here on the panel here. If you click, depending on what flap takeoff setting you want, I want flap 11 takeoff. So I'm going to click that. And once you've clicked that, it should automatically set all of your bugs for you, which is great. It hasn't set V2. I want V2 137. So I'm going to set V2 137 set. Done so. All right, gust lock. Let's remove the gust lock, which is that there. And windows and doors closed. Okay, so let's go to the doors. We've done all of our loading. The APU is on and providing power to the aircraft. So let's also take off the ground power also and turn off the ground power. So the ground power's come out, and we're now fully on the APU for our source of power. And the GPU should disappear, like so. And we should be ready for essentially getting our clearance and push and start. So let's go over to VATSIM and pull up our information here, which is... let's go sim aware, have a look what's going on in VATSIM. We do have Jersey control on today, which, well, we did when I... Yes, good. We still have Jersey control on, a tower as well as approach. And we have London control south and London central and London north to help us into Norwich, which is going to be practically full ATC this evening, which is really good. I hope it all stays online. So the first people we need is ATIS. Actually, let's just note down the text ATIS. Let me pause track IR and note down the text ATIS rather than going over and, well, no, screw that. Let's go listen to it for real. So Jersey ATIS is 134.675. So let's put that in nav2. 134.675. 675, and we literally just go over to VHF2. Or we should. 134. Oh, did I get that correct? Did I make a boo-boo? 134.675. No, that's correct. Okay, well, let's just write it down anyway. Jersey Information Quebec. Time 1750. Runway in use 26. Let's get the QNH. Transition level, flight level 60. So transition level 60. QNH, let's see what's that. Surface wind, knots visibility, plus 10. Few temperature, plus 2 point. QNH 1015, that's what we need as well. QFE 1006, acknowledge information Quebec and advise aircraft type on first contact. Okay, so tower controller is 119.45, so let's go 119.45. Let's go. Oh, I didn't turn on the volumes. That's why I wasn't hearing it. Duh. 119.45. So we should hear tower when we go over to 119.45. Right. So we should be on tower frequency now. Let's just go 119.45 on tower. And then let's also preemptively tune up Jersey control. Jersey control is 125.2. Is 125.2. So we literally just press a button and we're on 125.2. You can see it's within like the hundredths. It gives you up to the hundredths of precision for frequencies, which is great. 125.2. So we've got 125.2 on COM1 and 119.45 on COM2. So we're on COM2 right now. We should be able to call tower and request. Yeah, we should be able to call tower and request clearance. So let's go do that. Let's just move that over there. Oh, before we do that, obviously, let's file the flight plan. So let's swap so that we're doing it the other way around. Let's just go EGSS Stansted for our alternate, and it shouldn't take 3 hours. It should only take, SimBrief is telling me it should take 53 minutes, actually. So that sounds fun. 53 minutes is a short leg. And we've got a redundancy of probably 1 hour, 1.5 hours. We're going 17,000 feet because we're going in an easterly pattern. And we're going EGJJ. Or going Guernsey. And then Seaford. And then Clacton. And then EGSH. And Fokker F28 with no GPS, VOR to VOR and ILS only with radar vectors, please. I will pop in my call sign. Call sign Anglia. Just in case he's confused, because not many people will see Alpha Quebec and just know that that's Anglia. That's call sign Anglia. Oh, okay, so there's a bit of a problem with... Let's disconnect. And reconnect. Yeah. It said that there was a bit of a problem there. So let's just reconnect, and once these have loaded in, we will just refile that flight plan we made. And then we'll call tower. File flight plan, IFR, etc., etc. Everything's done. File flight plan. Boom. So, having done all that prep, we should be able to now call... let's now just call, he says, as he fiddles around with all sorts of other things going on in his life, let's call tower. Oh, hello. Is he able to... Oh, no, for some reason I can't transmit. Why can't I transmit? Have I done something wrong? Have I not turned something on? That could be the reason why. Can I not transmit? Why can I not transmit? Do I have the correct setting on my... What's my push to talk button? Yeah, it's joystick, it's button 1. Yeah. That's strange. We are aware of an issue with the VATSIM audio. Disconnecting and reconnecting may resolve the issue for you. Updates will be posted in Discord. Huh. There's no... What? What if I go to frequency 1? Nope, it's the same. I've never ever had that in my life. Let's disconnect that and let's close VATSPy or vPilot, and let's just restart vPilot again. That's strange. I hope this doesn't scupper my video this evening, because this is the 3rd time. Yeah. Okay. Connect. This is the 3rd time I've tried to film this video, for various reasons. It says connected to voice server, so file flight plan. Okay, I have the transmit light. Jersey Tower, good evening. Anglia 253, radio check. Oh, come on. Please. Don't do this to me. VATSIM. Let's just double check. Jersey Tower, 119.45 set. Correct. That is correct. Jersey Tower, good evening. Anglia 253, radio check. No, this is strange. I've got my microphone is working. I think it's this problem that they're having. I think it's this problem that they're having. Yeah, audio devices, testing, recording, testing. Yeah, you see, you can see my microphone input coming in. Nothing's changed since. Ugh. That's rotten. I hope. Negative, you might have to log off and back on again as per the broadcast message. Ugh. Alright. Disconnect. Exit. Just make sure that it's gone from my system's tray. And then let's right click on it. Let's go vPilot in the search box. And right click on it and go run as administrator. Connect. Connect. Let's just make sure that EasyJet traffic comes in as well. Yep, there you go. So we know we're connected to voice server. Jersey Tower, good evening. Anglia 253, radio check.
Anglia 253, yes, the magic works.
Yes, excellent. Thank you very much. So Anglia 253 is requesting IFR clearance, as I am about to file yet again. With information Quebec, QNH 1015, aircraft type Fokker F28 Fellowship.
Anglia 253, roger. So I believe you're going to Norwich, is that correct?
Affirm.
And Anglia 253, are you doing a non-standard departure or are you going to go via a SID?
Requesting non-standard, some radar vectors. I could go direct Guernsey after departure if that helps. Anglia 253.
Anglia 253, that's not a problem. I'll give you a non-standard clearance, and then my mate Joe on Jersey Control here vector you all the way up to the London Control area.
Much appreciated, thanks. Anglia 253.
And so Anglia 253, you're cleared omnidirectional departure to the Channel Island Control Zone boundary. IFR, maintain an altitude of 2,000 feet and squawk 1203.
That is cleared omnidirectional departure IFR, not above 2,000 feet, squawk 1203 Air Anglia. Sorry, correction, Anglia 253.
Anglia 253, your readback is correct. When ready, call push and start.
We'll call when ready for push and start, Anglia 253, thanks. Okay, that's kind of weird. He's saying not above 2,000 feet, so that's gonna be weird. But we're happy to play around because it's VATSIM. So squawk.
Easy 353. Good evening, Chris. Readability 5.
1203. Set, and let's go on standby. Actually, let's go. Off, standby, on. Here we go. Not above 2,000 feet, so we've got 2,000 feet in the box. Let's set 10 degrees pitch up, and let's go heading select on the box. And so we're gonna put Guernsey in the box first, like I said, which is 108.10, which we've set, and the inbound course to Guernsey is 311, so we're going to set that in course 1. 311. Set. And nav 1 is selected.
EG353 is an A320 Neo on stand 12 with information Quebec. Request IFR clearance to London Gatwick.
Okay, checklist.
EG353.
Anti-collision switches are on, throttles and idle levels are idle, HP fuel valve levers shut. Booster pump switches, let's turn those on now.
Clear to London Gatwick, Oris 1 Charlie departure,
set.
squawk 1221.
Starter master switch on. Right, ready for push and start.
Read back correct. When ready, call push and start.
Roger, will do, thank you.
And Anglia 253 ready for push and start.
Anglia 253, push and start is approved. Face east, call for taxi.
Push start approved, faced east, call ready for taxi, Anglia 253. Okay, so folks, let's get ready for our push and start. Let's pre-plan our pushback. Let's face east, which is to the left. So we come back to about here, and then we make a turn, and then we make another turn, slightly further back, there, hit enter, and we're ready for the push and start. So let's hit request pushback. So let's go to the aircraft and remove the chocks, because we have no GPU on the ground. We've got APU. We're ready, and we have the brakes set in, and the tug is coming around. Seatbelts and signs are on. Let's put weather radar on standby. That's not as per my checklist. I'm just doing it intuitively now. Taxi lights ready to go on. Nav lights and anti-collisions are on. So, ready for the push and start. And it's a lovely evening. Yeah, park brake is set. Park brake is set. Oh, it thinks, yeah. Now I can, oh, for goodness sake. If I set chocks, it thinks the chocks are the parking brakes. Oh, I see. Okay, now I can release the parking brakes. There we go. Set. Right, so to start the engines. Let's go. Right, start selector is 2, like so. The starter valve comes on. Now we come down here, we watch the high pressure gauge. As that comes up to about 15%, which is about there, we put our fuel valve or fuel selector onto start. That's going to begin the ignition sequence, which is this flashing light. The high pressure is going to continue to rise. We watch our temperatures and pressures. TGT rising, oil pressure is rising. Once the TGT reaches 400 degrees, we then push the fuel valve or fuel selector onto open. So once we see that hit 400, which is there, we then put that forward. And that is a started engine. So that while that's spooling up, we'll do that with the first engine. Let's go again for the left engine. Let's turn on that should have been turned on earlier on, and let's turn on the pitot heats now as well. Again, watching for the high pressure valve coming up through 15%, which is about there. Turning that on to start.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Park brake set.
Parking brake set. Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft. Ground. Startup is complete. You may disconnect.
Watching temperatures and pressures.
Clear to disconnect. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
And they're both coming up well.
Holding position, waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
All the warning lights are out. We're up through 400 degrees, so on to open, and we've got good starts there. Let's turn on the taxi light. And now that our two engines are on, our two inoperative lights are off, so our Gen 1 and Gen 2 are good. Let's turn off the engine master switch, or the engine starter switch, that is. And now we've got, let's take off the APU Gen and the APU main and the APU air, and then turn on the second, whatever that is, for the pressurization. So that is pretty much a configured aircraft ready for taxi. All the rest of that I can just tick, and then after starting checklist, we go central warning caution system is out. Yeah, we've got nothing going on here. HB fuel valve levers are both open, fuel pressure lights are out, ignition lights are out, starter valve light is out, starter master switch is off, Generator lights are both off. We checked. Gen 3 switches off. APU air switches off.
Easy 353
Air
stand
conditioning
12,
main
ready for
switches
push that, push button
are both
start, sorry.
on. AC and DC check.
Haha. Easy
So,
353, pushing start approved. Space
that
west,
one,
call for taxi.
true. Bus 1.
Push that approved facing west. Thank you.
ESS bus. Bus 2 is good. True 2 and BAT 2. Gen 3 is off, obviously, because that's the APU. Gen 1 and bus 1. ESS bus. Bus 2. Gen 2. And obviously no external power, so those are good. Engine anti-icing switches on or auto. So let's go over to auto for those, which is down. And those can remain off. Windshield heating switches low or off. We've put them on low. Pitot and vane heating switches are on. Hydraulic supply, let's check, is all in the green. Electric pump switches are off. Guards closed. They are indeed. Flight controls out and flaps set. So let's set flaps 11 and just double check that we have full control of our controls. That's good. That's ready to go. Anglia 253 ready for taxi.
Anglia 253 via Alpha, taxi hold point Alpha 1, runway 26, QNH 1015.
Via Alpha, taxi Alpha 1 to hold for runway 26 and QNH 1015, Anglia 253. So let's go pull up the, I should have pulled this up beforehand, but I know, actually let's not bother because I know Jersey well enough. Let's go off with the parking brake and let's bump the throttles up and get this baby rolling. Let's do a quick little brake check, which is there. Nice. I love this little aircraft. It's so beautiful. Taxiing checklist. So flight instrument set and check. We did that. Trim has been set. Collision tank indicators black. Now I never understood that. Collision tank indicators black. Flaps we have set and crew briefing we have completed. So the lineup checklist. So, brake temperatures, I think those are, yes, they are good. APU off or on?
Good evening, airline 271.
APU is off.
Airline 271, good evening, post message.
Lift dumpers, we need to arm those.
Good evening, airline 271, type ATR72 on
Flight controls we checked.
6,
Hydraulic pressures we checked. Your dampening switch needs to be in, which is that there.
And airline 271, you're going via Skerry, is that correct?
Landing light switches extend and on. We will do that at the hold.
It might not be correct. You have to double check.
So again, just double checking VATSIM. We've got a tower on, and he will hand us off to Jersey
no worries,
Control.
no, give us a call back then.
And Jersey Control is on COM 1, and we're currently on COM 2, so we're all good. And we do have, let's not put altitude reporting on until we hit the runway. And we're ready for that. So,
Anglia 253, report ready for departure.
we'll do Anglia 253. We are not quite, that's Alpha 1 right there, so let's just make the turn. Well actually, that's also Alpha 1, so let's take full length, why not? Let's set the heading bug for 260 before we go as well. Let's just hold on the brakes here. Do a few things. Let's turn on all the lights. We can take the taxi light off now because let's put the strobe on. What did we say we wanted to do? Yes, we want to set 260 on the heading.
Airline 271, new flight plan file, slightly less scenic route. Guest type on Gatwick, please.
And what did we need to do? Landing light switches and extended on. And then we go to the after takeoff checklist. Anglia 253 ready for departure.
Anglia 253 after departure, climb runway heading altitude 2,000 feet.
Cleared for takeoff, I assume, for Anglia 253, and after departure up to 2,000 feet.
Anglia 253, thank you. Yes, surface winds 2603 3 knots, runway 26, clear for takeoff.
Cleared takeoff 26, Anglia 253, thank you. Alright. Bump the throttles again, just check the active, make sure we've not got any crazies.
Easy 353, stand 12, ready for taxi.
Easy 353 via Juliet and Alpha. Via taxi, hold point Alpha 1, runway 26, 1015.
Okay, this thing is a little pocket rocket, so we need
Taxi
to...
via Juliet
things are going to
Alpha,
get
holding
pretty
point
quick.
Alpha 1,
Get fast pretty quick,
66
sorry.
And QNH 1015, easy.
So, let's just go to the aircraft, seats for takeoff.
Airline 271.
Let's go 50%.
Definitely going scary then, is that correct?
Sorry, I thought I refiled it with Oris on
Power
Charlie.
is set. Brakes released.
No, I've still got you going to scary.
Right, let me try that again.
Yeah, everything's going wrong tonight for some reason.
80 knots, checked. Airspeed alive. 100 knots. 120 coming up now. And rotate. That was quick. Positive climb, gear up.
I've just refiled that and reconnected as well for good measure. How's that?
That's a lovely job. Give me 30 seconds, I'll come back to you.
AP autopilot on and flaps up.
Anglia 253, contact Jersey Control, 125.2. You have a good flight. Bye-bye.
125.2, thanks. Catch you later, Air Anglia 253. And why are we
Airline
going...
271, that's much better. Cleared London Gatwick, Oris 1 Charlie departure, squawk 1246.
Oh, right, we're leveling out already at 2,000. Wow. Jersey radar, Anglia 253 with you, just leveling out 2,000 feet runway heading.
Anglia 253, Jersey Control, hello. Climb down flight level 170, route or navigation direct Guernsey viewer.
Climb flight level 170 and route direct Guernsey, own navigation, Anglia 253. Okay. Heading hold. And let's put that up to 170. 170 set. And let's go, we're at 250 knots. Let's go IAS and then bring the throttles up. That should bring us all the way up. Good stuff. Let's go VOR lock on the selector. Just bring us onto an intercept radial course there. We don't have Anglia. We don't seem to have a VOR reading there as of yet. Oh, strange. Let's double check that frequency. 108.10. 108.10 set. Nav 1 set. 311 course. We are on IIS and heading. Oh, I'm sorry. That's that DME readouts for Nav 2. This is what I should be looking at. 13.5. Stupid. Let's actually climb like we mean it here. Actually, we're only going up to flight level 170. And let's set standard barometric pressure as he gave us a flight level, which is set. Standard set cross-checked. And then...
1803, push and start, stand 2 is approved, face east, Guernsey QNH is 1015.
Up through 3,000, 3,500. We should be on weather, and we should be on altitude. That's what I forgot. For some reason, it's got a glide slope, which makes me feel like Oh, 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109.4. 109. Of course, you idiot. You tuned the localizer, not... It's because I didn't zoom in far enough. Of course. Whatevs. Okay, so we're so close to the VOR, which is literally over on the runway there. What we're going to do is we're just going to fly heading hold. Because it's a clear day. We've got the visual of Guernsey. Let's just fly heading hold until we... until we get there. So when we get there, the outbound heading from Guernsey is 052. So let's, now we're on heading, while we're on heading hold, let's just put in 052 into the box. So we're ready to go on to that radial outbound. What did I see? Say 052 set. And so we're ready, climbing through 6,000 now. Speed is holding at 250 under 10,000 feet. Once we're up at 10,000, we'll go lights off and we'll accelerate up to about 270-ish, I think. Should be good. Let's just tweak our heading hold there. And let's go the after takeoff checklist. Landing gear is up, flaps are up, lift dumpers are in. RPM, TGT, and TTC checked. So the RPM is looking good. TGT's good, and those TTC switches.
Jersey Control, very good evening. Here's your 17 Yankee Victor to level 255.
So 2.9 nautical miles away from the VOR. So very, very soon we're going to hit the cone of confusion and we'll take a right-hand turn onto 052.
And 17 Yankee Victor, Jersey Control, hello. Level 1 Juliet arrival, landing runway 26. Descend flight level 80.
Descend level 80, level 1 Juliet arrival, runway 25, easy 17 Yankee Victor.
Set. So we're making that turn now. Overhead. Guernsey. There we go. Who on earth is that at Guernsey? What's a 777 doing at Guernsey? I don't know, but it's VATSIM for you. Look at that massive filthy smoke. Beautiful. Okay, outbound on the radial. We will... We'll actually we'll turn back on ourselves to gain the radial. Up through 10,000 feet now.
1803 via off 1 line up and work runway 27.
Signs can go off. Let's go back to... Let's go. Oh, let's go back to pitch.
1803 via Alpha and Alpha 1 line up and wait runway 27.
Let's go pitch. Let's just lessen our pitch so we can accelerate through 250 up to about 270-ish, 50, 60, 70-ish.
Anglia 253, fly heading 040 degrees.
040 degrees, Anglia 253.
Jersey Control, easy 353 with you at 1,900 feet.
Easy 353, Jersey Control, hello. Climb now, flight level 190.
Climb now 190, easy 353.
Oh, he's given me that because there's an inbound EasyJet. There's an inbound EasyJet, inbound to Jersey probably. Which we will see off our nose to the left somewhere. Of course we don't... Okay, now let's go IAS. Or else we'll overspeed. And when you overspeed, the whole thing blows up, so... Whew, look at that bump up to 4,000 feet per minute. Rocketing up. But that's in order to arrest that speed increase. Okay, landing and flare lights are out and retracted. Engine anti-ice switches on auto or on. They're currently on auto and off. We don't have any ice detected anyway. Pressurization check. So the pressurization is set, and the PSI differential is 6.5 PSI, but the cabin still reads as 0. So I mean... Yeah, it's just I'm a little bit mystified still with the pressurization. That's the one thing I still need to really understand. But fasten seatbelt and no smoking signs are on or off. I'm going to leave the smoking signs. Actually, let's take those off now. You can see the strobes of the EasyJet that was coming across the nose. So he precautionally, I believe he brought me off my course just so that he gave that descending aircraft a bit more space, which is fine. Coming up through 16,000 feet, so 1,000 feet to go. We're going to go pull back our throttles very soon because we have absolutely no auto throttles. There we go, 1,000 to go, outsell. And then next checklist will be the descent checklist. So we're already up at cruise, which it's not a bad thing. I mean, we've not got far to go. So okay, so we're flattening out. Let's bring back. We've gone into. Are we on? It's hard to see which light is illuminated here sometimes, but let's just throttle back. And there we go. So pitch. I think height. Yeah, I think height is now engaged, and we can now engage altitude hold for just the view selector. And the aircraft will now hold flight level 170, and we just need to make sure that we don't over throttle and overspeed, and then it's just tuning different VORs. So he's bringing us off. He's bringing us off the radial. I'm just going to wait until he tells us where to go next for that. And while he does that, ooh, I see breast controls come online. He might hand us straight off to London South, which is 129.425. (129.425) set in COM 2, ready for use if need be. Yeah, so he's going to hand us off at some point, either to breast control, which is 125.5, which has just come online. But I'm so close to the edge of breast control that he might just hand me... I think he might just hold on to me and hand me directly off to London South, which is fine. There's that 777 on the ground at Guernsey we saw. Not sure. No, it's an... Oh no, okay, it's an Airbus A330-9.
Anglia 253, contact London Control now, 125.5, we'll see you again, bye-bye.
Over to 125.5 for breast control, Anglia 253.
Anglia 253, correction, 129.425.
I thought so, thanks. London South Control 129.425. Thank you very much. Good evening, Anglia 253.
See you next time.
Okay, so he's just handed me off on a radar vector.
4,000 feet to Jersey QNH,
so
1015.
Bye now.
Oh, hang on. I've all of a sudden...
Hello, 180, fly.
There we go. That was a bit of lag there in that click spot actuating. That's strange. Anyway, so we're on London South Control now. Let's actually say to London South that we're inbound Seaford, which will be helpful to him. So that's 1700. Let's put that in COM 2, or NAV 2. Whoa, again. What's going on? I'm trying to... All of a sudden, I've never had this before. There was just really weird lag.
London, 148, 1 rate check.
C141, readability 5.
Let's go, Beam.
Thank you. The silence kind of scared me.
Yeah, I know. Nice.
London South, good evening. Anglia 253 with you, flight level 170, inbound Seaford VOR.
Anglia 253, Roger.
There we go. That's all he needs. We made the turn to... Yeah, for some reason, our click spots all of a sudden started lagging really, really heavily, which concerns me.
Yankee, hello, climb now, flight level 140.
Never had that before.
Climb now, flight level 140, easy 74 Echo Yankee.
Easy 43 Lima Golf.
So I need to... I need to maintain...
just departed out of Elstree, request basic service.
I'm going to try and maintain 0.6 mark.
43 Lima Golf, resume navigation direct now now.
Resume navigation now, easy 43 Lima Golf.
Roger, if you departed Elstree, that's north of Heathrow. I don't cover the CMA north of Heathrow. If you want a service, it's usually best to call an app unit if you're within 40 miles, just because obviously the area control is a bit busier. Roger, you're not in my airspace, I'm afraid. Descend at your discretion. Easy 74 Echo Yankee, route now direct to Coxey and climb flight level 290.
Direct to Coxey, climb flight level 290, correction, easy 74 Echo Yankee.
Dwelling 45 Echo Romeo, descend flight level 120.
120, waiting for 5 Echo Romeo.
Speedbird 1481, descend flight level 80.
Descend flight level 80, must be 148.
Air Portugal 1350, descend flight level 130.
Descend flight level 130, Air Portugal 1350.
Easy 43 Lima Golf, contact London contact Jersey Control 125.2.
125.2, easy 43 Lima Golf, thanks.
Easy 353 with you, 1900 feet.
Easy 353, hello, Absav 1 Golf for Gatwick, route direct
Okay,
Goodwood.
so while we're going inbound Seaford, let's set up the rest of our flight.
Gatwick and route direct Goodwood, easy 353.
Sadly, we have no more ATC for our arrival, so he's basically got us all the way up to Seaford and halfway to Clacton, but beyond the River Thames,
Romeo,
he's going to hand us off to Unicorn.
Golf transition runway 27, descend
which
flight
is
level
okay,
90.
I guess.
Descend flight level 90 and clear for London 1 start, waiting for 5 Echo Romeo.
Dwelling 45 Echo Romeo negative cleared, Lavno 1 Golf transition runway 27.
Okay, for transition level 1 Golf, waiting for 5 Echo Romeo.
Okay, so let's start prepping for... Nope, not map, sorry, charts.
Easy 3412 London, hello, climb now, flight level 130. Speedbird 1481, contact Gatwick Director 126.825.
126.825, let's do 151, good night.
Air Portugal 1350, route direct Ockham.
Direct Ockham, Air Portugal 1350.
The wind is 10 knots from 220, so it's a left-hand crosswind for runway 27.
Speedbird 460, Mike, London.
So it's going to be NDB DME. Actually, do we have a... Yes, we do.
45 Echo Romeo, route direct Ravsa.
It's an NDB DME approach, which is going to be fun.
Easy 3412, route direct Dagger.
So we come in at 8.8 nautical miles, at 2,000 feet. And then at 5.8 nautical miles, we begin a 3-degree glide slope descent on the heading of 271.
Stand by, break easy 3412, route direct Dagger.
Route direct Dagger, easy 3412.
Okay, if you're north of Heathrow, I can't provide a service and any useful service up there because I don't know what's going on up there. If you're in the Heathrow area, there is a director on 119725. They're better off providing services
There's
low level
apparently an ILS DME of 110.9, but I don't see it on little nav map.
Control, good evening, Speedbird 460, Mike, 6,000 feet.
Let's have a look.
Speedbird 460, Mike, hello, climb now, flight level 350.
Oh, there is an ILS. Oh, what am I thinking? Of course there's an ILS.
Dwelling 45 Echo Romeo, yeah,
Stupid
pass
me.
message.
Of course there's an ILS. ILS 110.9, which we will use. I mean,
okay, that's because it's a transition.
We
so you
could
need to select Sovet 1 Charlie, and then the transition is the Lavno 1
we
Golf. So it'll
could
be in the
try
fire
to use
section.
this,
Okay, thank you. My mistake. Thank you.
but let's just stick with the ILS when we have it. Let's just make it slightly easier for ourselves. Let's use the ILS if there is ILS available. If there is not ILS available, that will be covered in a different video, which I'll be happy to do. So, just double checking, we've got 51.1 nautical miles out to
Easy
Seaford.
353 when ready, descend flight level
So,
130 level Goodwood.
268, bearing on the localizer, 2,000 feet, 5.8 nautical miles, 2,000 feet at 8.8 nautical miles. And 3 degree glide, I think. Yeah. And runway is 106 feet in elevation.
Direct to Point Lavno, then just go onto the direct page and go all the way Lavno.
Is that? Yeah.
Okay,
So Norwich is 117 feet in altitude, so 117 plus
Easy
200
3412, no further ATC
is
available. Unicorn
317.
122.8, goodbye.
122.8, thanks up today, easy 3412.
So 317 feet on the decision height.
London Control, hello, DHL 341 Echo with you, passing 4,000 feet.
DHL 341 Echo, hello, climb now, flight level 290.
Climb flight level 290, DHL 341 Echo.
Yeah.
I'm
So we're pretty much good to go. Now this does have a TOD calculator. If I sync this,
Roger,
sync
stand
this,
by. So I just need to update your
target altitude needs to be 2,000 feet. Desired angle 3 degrees.
Yeah, it's pre-filed. The flight plan's usually
So
locked,
that means
just
that the
give me a
desired
moment.
top of descent distance is 47 miles before Norwich, and the desired vertical speed is 1,900 feet.
797, you with me?
About 2,000 feet per minute. At our current ground speed, that is. So if we keep this page open on our descent, this will help us.
Rockdog 1 Hotel arrival for Heathrow, descend flight level 260.
Expecting rescue 1 Hotel arrival, descending the flight level 260,
Easy 74 Echo Yankee, contact Brussels Control 131.1. Bye now.
131.1 easy, so for Echo Yankee, go ahead.
DHL 341 Echo, climb unrestricted, flight level 290 and route direct Conan.
290 and redirect Conan and DHL 341 Echo.
Air Portugal 1350, descend flight level 80.
Descend 80, Air Portugal 1350.
Easy 353, route direct Holly.
Route direct Holly, easy 353.
Dwelling 45 Echo Romeo,
Cabin altitude is still
6,000 feet, QNH 1013.
I mean, we're right up against the max PSI differential, which scares me.
Alpine 37 Quebec Victor, cleared to Faro via the LID preferred departure route. After departure, runway 23, turn left on track to Detling. Climb to altitude 3,000 feet, squawk 4215.
Unless I've gotten this completely wrong.
I'm up departure direct Detling, finish climb 3,000 and squawk 4215, Alpine 37 Quebec.
Alpine 37 Quebec Victor, correct when ready, taxi hold short runway 23, QNH 1013.
If I set 17,000 feet, flight altitude at max differential, cabin pressure control,
good evening, easy
and
900,
cabin altitude.
Train 1 might departure.
Easy 9006, hello, report your passing altitude, climb now, flight level 130.
I may have got this wrong. I feel like I have, because we shouldn't have a cabin altitude of 0 feet still at 17,000 feet.
Descend to 80, easy 353.
Doesn't actually make sense to me.
797, route direct Hazel, descend flight level 130.
I'll have to read up on this a bit further. I've read the manual on it, but that's not really helped me. Okay, 23.5 nautical miles away from Seaford, which is just on the coast up ahead of us. And then we do a turn to the left to pick up the course of... What is our course?
Air Portugal 1350,
030.
contact Heathrow Director 119.725.
Director 119.725, Air Portugal 1350.
So let's pre-select
Easy
heading
353, contact
030
Gatwick Director 126.
in our heading hold, which is there.
126.
Once we reach like 2 nautical miles.
Right. Easy 9006, route direct Dagger, climb flight level 230.
Route direct Dagger, climb flight level 230.
Beautiful sunset over the south coast of England.
Quality control, good evening.
With Shoreham, I think.
522, hello, climb now, flight level 350.
Where's Shoreham?
Climb flight level 3.
Oh, there it is. Oh, there's Shoreham. Shoreham Airfield, just there. Beautiful.
Welling 45 Echo Romeo, roger. Further descent shortly.
Good evening, Roger 205, level 340, inbound to Bolro.
Air Algerie 2054, hello, Roxog 1 Hotel for Heathrow, route direct Hazel.
Roxog 1 Hotel, direct Hazel, Roger 205. Good evening, Golf 10 Mike is at 37500, inbound to the lead VOR.
I forgot to run Volanta.
Golf 10 Mike, London, hello, pass.
There's always something I forget. Let's just turn on Volanta and start tracking the flight. Despite the fact I'm in midway, I'll track it anyway.
Golf 10 Mike, London.
Golf 10 Mike.
Yeah, you looking for a service or something? So just pass your details.
Just pass your details.
Okay, pass your details then. Golf 10 Mike, sorry, I'm a bit confused why you called me up. Are you looking for a service?
No, not looking for a service, just letting traffic know I'm there.
Okay, that's not how it works. Obviously, you can't just use this frequency to transmit. Are you remaining outside controlled airspace?
I'm inside your controlled airspace, I think.
Okay, Golf 10 Mike. Squawk 4313.
Squawk 4313 for Golf 10 Mike.
Air Algerie 2054, descend flight level 260.
Level 260, Air Roger.
Golf 10 Mike, so at 3,500 feet of your present position, you're technically outside controlled airspace. So you're in class Golf airspace. Are you looking to climb and enter controlled airspace, or are you remaining at that level?
Remaining at this level.
Golf 10 Mike, roger. The London QNH is 1013. It's a basic service outside controlled airspace.
Okay then, roger that, Golf 10 Mike.
Dwelling 45 Echo Romeo, descend to altitude 3,000 feet.
Descent altitude 3,000 feet, heading 45 Echo Romeo.
London control Emirates 254 at 4,000 feet.
Emirates 254 London, hello, climb now, flight level 130.
And 130 Emirates 254.
Air Algerie 2054, descend flight level 130.
30,
Speedbird 460 Mike, route direct Lelna.
Route direct Lelna, Speedbird 460 Mike.
Speedbird 522, just a slight change to your route. Can you route now direct to Lelna, which is Lima Echo Lima, November Alpha, and then after direct Pevis.
I passed over the VOR. Stupid me.
A firm direct to Lena and then after Pebos, Speedbird 522.
Stupid me.
Easy 9006, further climb your discretion. Monitor Unicom 122.8. Bye.
While I was fiddling around with Volanta,
thank you very much.
Right, we're on heading hold. Let's just come back
254, route direct Dagger.
Sort out that VOR radial.
That
was bad of me. I should have been paying attention.
DHL 341 Echo, contact Brussels control 131.1.
We're slightly slower than
Brussels 341.1,
but I'm not too worried.
Speedbird 460.
I'd be more worried if we were
Breast 125
faster and
decimal
slower.
5.
Breast 125 decimal 5. Speedbird 460 Mike. Next is flight.
I'd be more worried if we were too fast, because you can overstress and crash the aircraft in mid-air. Let me just double check VATSIM now again to see if anyone's come online.
Emirates 254, further climb your discretion, 102 Unicom 122.8.
The climb at discretion and monitor 128.
Nope, no one's come online yet. So fairly soon, as we cross the Thames, he will hand us over to Unicom. So let's set Unicom up on nav on Com 1.
Speedbird 797, route direct Ockham, descend flight level 80.
30 Ocon, descent to level 80, so we're on MS1.
Dwelling 45 Echo Romeo, cleared ILS approach, runway 27.
Cleared ILS approach, runway 27.
122.8 set in Com 1. Ready for that change. Beautiful lighting transition, obviously from day to night time as well. We got a nice flight in the evening through
Air
sunset.
2054, route direct Ockham.
So,
direct Ockham, Roger, VZ4.
Alpine 37, Quebec Victor, 23, Southend ready for departure.
Alpine 37 Quebec Victor,
So,
runway 23, clear
just
for
passing
takeoff,
2 tons on either side,
knots.
fuel-wise.
23 clear for takeoff.
Just past 2 tons. Everything looking good still. Just coming onto the radial now. This leg, let's tune up Clacton.
Negative, I'm afraid not. There's no ATC at
Clacton
Birmingham
is 1455.
Okay, wait for the
1455 set, and the course should again be 030. And see, we've got 51 nautical miles out from Clacton, and 24 nautical miles out from Seaford. So when those two distances are the same, we know we're bang in between the two VORs. And when we're bang in between the two VORs, we will then change to Clacton. We'll just make sure that we're on the radial. So we're so close to the radial now, let's go beam. And then the aircraft will actually fly the radial instead of heading hold. So basically you're flying in this aircraft at this time in the 70s was essentially a mixture of heading hold and VOR hold.
Dwelling 45 Echo Romeo, once vacated, taxi stand
to
choice,
get the accuracy that you need.
240
So there's Gatwick. You can see Gatwick way off on the left, just under that cloud base there. That's Gatwick. And then London, Greater London area is underneath that cloud. And I think you can just about see London City will be just there. And London Heathrow will be over there. So we've got a fair amount of traffic off in that direction, as far as I'm aware. But just look at the lighting, just the beautiful sunset, the Thames stretched out, all of Greater London underneath us. Just beautiful. Okay, let's just double check. 32 nautical miles out and 42 nautical miles in. So we're getting closer.
Alpine 37 Quebec Victor, roger, climb now, flight level 120. Speedbird 797, contact Heathrow, director 119.725.
What a shot.
Heathrow director 197 7.
Anglia 253, no further ATC now, on for Unicom on 122.8, bye.
122.8, thanks Anglia 253. Okay, VHF 1 onto Unicom now. So it's going to be pretty quiet now. We're going to have a nice quiet arrival into Norwich, unless anyone else comes online, which you never know. It could happen. Let's just refresh and see where we're at with VATSIM. Yeah, so again, beautiful, beautiful departure from Jersey. I really enjoyed that. We had tower, we had radar, we had London South Control, and now you can see us here moving. Yeah, you can see our outbound tracking Guernsey and inbound. Yeah, he gave us some vectors to the edge of his airspace, and then he gave us inbound to London South, and then we went Seaford, overshot Seaford by accident ever so slightly, and then up to Clacton, which is about here, and then we'll go up to Norwich here. But of course, he's just given us Unicom. Unless, who is this, London North comes online. He might let us know. Okay, folks. Now, yeah, we're just enjoying a bit more peace and quiet now, which is good. 30 nautical miles to Clacton, and 45 nautical miles outbound from Seaford. So let's tune over to Clacton now. And the way we do that, of course, is we literally go from nav 2 to nav 1, and in doing so, the aircraft automatically switches to roll control. What we can do is have a chance to just tweak the radial slightly and then go back to beam. And now we will go inbound tracking Clacton. And now we're watching 27.0 nautical miles counting down. And then from Clacton we are heading north of from Clacton after we pass on a heading of what is that heading? 005. Yes, 005. So almost due north. But what we want is we want Clacton in nav 2. And I'll show you why we need Clacton in nav 2 instead of nav 1. So let's go 1455 in nav 2. 1455 set. And that needs to be 029. So let's go over to nav 2 and go back to beam. And because it's exactly the same information on just on nav 2 instead, there's really, the aircraft doesn't do any crazy yawing around in the air for that. That's a pretty seamless change. The reason why we put Clacton on nav 2 is that we want the ILS of Norwich on nav 1. And you can see some aircraft trails there coming in, probably coming into London. We're going to be crossing across some European traffic, I think coming in from Amsterdam, descending down, coming in. Yeah, I think there's one across on the bare horizon there as well. So, yeah. Yeah. So, let's go. Let's just have a look. We should actually, soon after arriving at Clacton, the last leg is 50 nautical miles to Norwich, and we said we needed 47, essentially 50 nautical miles. So essentially, as soon as we hit Clacton, we need to start descending. So what am I looking for? Checklist, the descent checklist, and Clacton is 14 nautical miles away, so really not that far now. The reason why, again, we put Clacton in nav 2 is we now need the ILS of Norwich in nav 1, which is 110.9. 110.9. And the heading is going to be magnetic 268. 268 set. So that's ready for the ILS when we need it. 10 nautical miles outbound of Clacton. So again, a retro commercial airliner like this, you know, even if you throw VATSIM into the mix, which if you're flying your normal, you know, 737 PMDG and Fenix A320, sorry, you're used to VATSIM at this point, or IVA or whatever it is you use. You're kind of used to that. It's actually not a scary aircraft. It's just a lot more physical. It's a lot more visceral. There's a lot more to have to manage. The auto throttle, there is none. You have to manage that. So again, 6.4 nautical miles inbound Clacton. So you keep having to. It forces you to really fly the aircraft a lot more than, you know, a 737 or an A320, where you can just relax because you just know how it works and you don't have to think as hard. I think there's so much automation. This aircraft, you have to think more, and I like that. I really like that. We've got an aircraft passing across our nose up above us, So 3.9 nautical miles. I'm actually going to call that, and I'm going to go 005 on the heading. Set. And let's go heading hold. And then let's set 055 on course 2. And be ready to track the outbound radial. At the same time, let's reset our MCP down to 2,000 feet, which is the beginning of the glide slope. Set. And let's hit down pitch. Let's do the undercarriage silence horn and bring our throttles almost down to idle. We'll watch the speed trend before we bring the throttles fully out. And we're just watching that radial. We want to come back onto that radial again and track outbound from Clacton on 005. So let's just bring us a little bit further to the left. And essentially, this is how aircraft before GPS would have operated. This aircraft doesn't have an INS, which is an inertia navigation system, which is something... Oh, ice detected. Ice detected. So we've got auto for the anti-icing, the engine anti-icing, and the PSI has come up. Let's go on for the other anti-icing system, which is the what is this called? Airfoil anti-icing. Sorry, it's looking further up. And while we're about it, let's turn on some red lights because we're starting to not be able to see stuff. So that speed trend, since we've made that change, is fine. Let's go now to beam because we're on that radial. The speed trend's fine. Actually, let's bring out the power completely and try to get us below 250 before we hit 10,000 feet, because that's going to be a constraint. Sun is completely set now, and you can see the strobes strobing away, doing their stroby thing. You can see on the inside of the cockpit, you can see the red light. And this is essentially how you would fly an aircraft before GPS, as I was saying. Let's do the descent checklist as we get close to 10,000 feet. I would love Justflight to come out with the VC10 Professional for Microsoft Flight Simulator, because I would love to fly an aircraft in this fashion, but transatlantically and intercontinentally. I would love that. And the VC10 is exactly that. I know they released it for P3D version 3, I think it was, or 4 at the latest. But again, I'm not installing them just to fly one aircraft. I only do that sort of thing for the Stratocruiser with P3D version 3. Actually, I could install... Ooh, actually, now I think of it, I could potentially install Justflight VC10 for P3D version 3. I'll have to look into that. If I can make it work, I'll come back to you on that, because I would love to try that out. Okay, so 1,000 feet to go to 10,000. Let's bring in the speed brake and just bring that speed back below 250. And those are the speed brakes on the tail of the aircraft. They're looking very cool, very similar to the BAE 146, I think it is. Bringing us down below 250. And we can now pop that back. And we'll just watch that speed coming down through 10,000 feet. Let's get the lights on. Set. And let's get the landing lights on as well. Okay, so we know that this leg is 50 nautical miles up to Norwich. What we will also do is tune 342.5. It's going to take an age, but, you know, here we are. We need 342.5. .5 set. Oh, bit of a freeze here. Oh, we've frozen. Let's just hopefully wait for the aircraft for Microsoft Flight Simulator to load whatever it is it wasn't able to. Okay, there we go. So we're back. Now we can go. Oh! Another bit of a freeze there. Yeah, I think that's what I wanted. ADF on needle 1 and VOR on needle 2. I think that's what I was looking for. Yeah. Yeah. So well below 10,000 feet now. So we're coming down to We're going to level off at 2,000 feet. Let's hit the B key to get the local barometric pressure. Lights are on. Oof, look at that. The lights are indeed on. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take a bit of a liberty here. Because we have no ATC, if you see, because we have no ATC, we need to basically give ourselves radar vectors onto the ILS approach. So without any help from ATC, we're going to go...
Unicom traffic, Golf, up Mike, radio check first.
Here you 5x5.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Okay, let's go heading 030. On the heading. And let's select heading hold now. Now that we're on heading hold, let's set up for the ILS, which is going to be nav 1, like so. Let's go back to heading select, and let's take off the altitude hold. And let's bring that back down to about 1 degrees pitch up. Still on pitch hold, which is fine. We're actually going to be leveling out at 2,000 a bit early, so let's just... Oh, no, didn't want to do that. Let's just flatten out that descent rate a bit. And that'll help with our speed. Down to about 1,000, between 500 feet and 1,000 feet in the descent. So that'll help us decel a bit. So this kind of aircraft, it's just a lot of you have to be on top of it constantly. It's just managing. It's managing everything to an extent that you don't really need to in the modern life. But this is why you get an aircraft like this, because it's just so hands-on. Okay, so we're down through 10,000 feet. Fasten seatbelt sign is on. Pressurization, again, I have no clue about it. I need to learn up on the pressurization system, but let's say it's set. TT switches need to be in takeoff now. Let's put those on takeoff. And landing data checks, bug set. Yeah, so the bugs, now on the landing, we hit the landing section. And we're going to take full flaps, which is a VREF of 119. So let's hit set the bug at 119. Set. Coming down through 4,000 feet. So we've got about 2,000 feet to go. And the East Anglian countryside is coming up to meet us in the dark. Yep, so again, like I said, in flattening out that descent rate, we are decreasing speed to about 200 knots. And we will need to decrease that further, but thankfully the F28 is very good at decreasing speed. We can use that massive, great air brake at the back. That does wonders. And actually, I was learning a little bit more about this weekend. It's actually customary for the F28 on the flare to actually deploy the air brake before touchdown.
Norwich traffic, go Papa Mike is taxiing 27 Norwich.
Okay, I'm actually going to give myself a bit more time to set up, so I'm actually going to do a reciprocal outbound, like a long extended downwind leg. Oh, there's someone at Norwich taking off. Oh, that's who we heard. Okay. Anglia 253 Norwich traffic, just leveling out 2,000 feet, preparing for the ILS runway 26. Okay, so 1,000 feet to go, outsell. That thing that's flipping on and off is the anti-icing. So let's turn the anti-icing off now. Lights are on. Cabin lights are on. 2,500. That's fine. Let's just hit the B key again. So we're going to be leveling off at 2,000 feet very, very soon here now. And we could give ourselves a bit of speed brake just to bring ourselves down. We could bring in flaps 11 now. So let's bring flaps 11 and bring that speed brake back in. Let's arm the lift dumpers at this juncture. And now that we are below the glide, we can see we're going to turn downwind. Let's head. We won't go gear down yet, but we'll keep this. We'll now bring the speed up. We will hold a minimum of 160 knots in the turn. Yeah, that aircraft on the ground at Norwich is taxiing to the active. So, oh, slightly on the slow side. Let's turn to intercept the ILS now. And we will call established and our DME to the threshold. Right, now we're on an intercept course. Let's hit the beam and the glide, and they will activate. Let's go VOR lock and glide slope auto. And that's all we need to do. We could go the approach phase as well. No, let's not do that. Let's just hold nav 1. I don't quite know what that approach button does yet. I haven't learnt that. And then once we are on the localizer, we'll call localizer established. Norwich traffic, Anglia 253, localizer established, runway 26, 8.5 nautical miles. He heard that. Okay, now we will go gear down. And the gear takes time to deploy in this. The gear definitely takes time to deploy, so we're going to watch those lights and wait for all 3 greens before we introduce any more flaps. Okay, the nose gear's in and locked. Left main and right main locked, and all 3 greens. So we got 3 good greens. When we have half deflection of the glide slope from below, let's introduce some more flaps. Right, let's introduce glide slope. Flaps full. And let's just now maintain correct speed, and we can use the fast slow meter on the top of our HSI.
Norwich traffic, Golf, Papa Mike is holding short, Alpha 227, Norwich.
Okay, I just pulled out the autopilot because I just realized that it wasn't following the glide slope for some reason. So we're going to fly it manually from this point on. So we've got full flaps. Our speed is still good. Our speed is still good. We're 4.6 nautical miles out, so Norwich traffic, Anglia 253 is 4.1 nautical miles from touchdown. Short final, runway 26, Norwich traffic.
England, Papa Mike, got you inside.
Cool. Okay, so we got lift dumpers. Armed. Down, geared down 3 greens. Flaps are full. Crew briefing. Let's go. Aircraft. Seats for landing. Let's go back to the checklist. No smoking on. Altimeter set. Anti-icing check. Landing lights. Landing warner. Okay, final. Gear is down. Skid control check. Yep, skid control's checked. And I'm not going to... Brake pressures. Again, brake pressures. I can't remember where they are. Lift dumpers have armed and flaps have been set. So that's all you're getting for me on short final when I've not got the autopilot turned on. So the glide is good. Glide slope is good. Localizer is good. 1.7 nautical miles. Now let's look at speed. Let's reduce speed. Because we've got gear out and full flaps, yeah, there you go. Speed shouldn't be difficult in coming out. We've set the correct... glide slope now. We've set the correct the minimums, which is 317, which is 200 above the threshold. And again, look at that. I just blew straight through the glide. That's really shabby. Minimums, calling, and continue. And as long as we don't get any wind shear, we should have a good touchdown here. Right, I'm going to engage the spoiler before we touch down in the flare.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Oh crap. That was really bad. Oh. That was really...
Nice.
That was
is lining up 27 average.
really badly executed. I've got a lot of practice on the F28. Goodness me. I needed practice a lot more than that. Thoroughly recommend it.
A controller compatible yet.
Oh, missed it. Almost missed that. Norwich traffic, Anglia 253, vacating 26. Okay, flaps up. Now, once we get across the threshold, let's just clean the aircraft up and let our friend take off. Okay, so... lights extended, strobe off, APU started. So I feel like there was things I could really improve on. I think for some reason the aircraft didn't follow the glide slope from the get-go. Maybe I didn't engage it correctly. I felt I had engaged it correctly, but maybe I didn't. But I saw it quick enough that I just pulled out the autopilot and I just flew the aircraft, which I think was a good thing to do. But what that then meant was that my glide slope was sloppy, my localizer was sloppy. But on the touchdown, I think this is the first time I've introduced engaging...
Norwich traffic, Golf Mike is departing 27, VFR left and out 1,500, departing east, Norwich.
So, this is the first time I employed the technique of engaging the air brake before touchdown. And I need a lot more practice in the F28. I think of all the landings I've done so far in the F28, landings and flares have been challenging compared to other aircraft. So I've got a lot more work to do in that respect, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So let's park on this. Actually, let's park in front of the terminal. take stand 3. Let's turn on the APU gen. And once we're on stand, let's just turn off the taxi light so we don't blind the crew, the ground crew. Okay, parker brake on, engines off, like so. Let's go chocks. Chocks. And ground power. And once the ground power comes in, we'll turn off the APU. Let's turn off the seatbelts. Okay, ground power on. We can now take the Gen 3 off, the main off. And that's us. Good to go. Let's open the doors and the cargoes. What else do we need to do? We need to turn off the anti-collisions and the nav. And, I mean, there's a couple of other things you could do, but essentially, that's you. That's it. So, I mean, what do I really say? It's just so much fun. It's just so much fun. I don't think I can recommend this thing enough, guys. Which is kind of strange coming from me, because I'm not a jet guy. You guys know that. All of the aircraft stuff on my channel is all vintage, vintage airliners and vintage, or vintage airliners and GA. But this is a vintage airliner. It just happens to be a jet, and that's fine as long as, you know, I've not got some magenta line that makes me bored. This definitely does not make me bored, and I love flying it on VATSIM. And I love VATSIM controllers and other VATSIM traffic having to put up with something like this. It gives controllers something a bit more interesting to do, rather than just assume that people are going to fly SIDS and stars. So yeah, I'm enjoying it thoroughly, and I hope you guys are too. And if you like this content, if you'd like me to fly more destinations, more airlines, more routes on VATSIM, if you'd like me to show you different procedures, there's a whole world of different procedures that you can do in this. You can do NDB DME approaches, like I was almost going to, when there's no ILSs, all sorts of things. Non-precision approaches, visual approaches. Oh my goodness, the visual approaches you could fly in a commercial airliner. That sounds fun. Okay, folks, that's enough babble from me. Have a very good evening, and I will see you soon in the Comanche and the F28.